Hello everyone, it's Taylor, and today I'm here to do my September TBR. For those of you who don't know, a TBR just basically means to be read. So it's all the books that I would like to tackle in the month of September. I'm hoping the lighting is okay right now. It's a little cloudy outside. I do have my ring light on, but the light seems to be switching up a little bit back and forth. Also, if you can hear any noises, it's probably my cat or my dog messing around me. The first book that I'd like to finish this month is On Writing by Stephen King. You can probably see my bookmark there. I'm about halfway done, but I'd like to finish it up in the first part of this month. On Writing is a memoir by Stephen King himself, and in the book he talks about his journey to become a writer, a little bit of his struggles as a young writer, and even gives some advice and tools for people who want to become writers themselves. The next book I'd like to finish this month is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. So I did show this in my August book haul. It's something I've had for a couple weeks now, and I'd like to go ahead and start reading it. For those of you who don't know, Heartless is almost like a prequel to the events that happened in Alice in Wonderland. We are specifically focusing on the Queen of Hearts and how she became an evil villain queen. The next two books I'd like to finish this month are Glass Sword and King's Cage. These are both by Victoria Aveyard, and they are books 2 and 3 in the Red Queen series that follows our protagonist, Mare Barrow, who is a red who discovers that she has powers. And if you can recall from my August wrap-up, basically Mare lives in a world divided between reds and silvers. The silvers are the elite who are supposed to be the only people who have these magical powers. But Mare being a red is a little bit problematic because it sort of disrupts the whole foundation that the society is built on. I'm really excited to read these two books because I got attached to the first one very quickly, and I'm excited to see how Mare's story turns out. Moving right along, the next book that I'd like to finish this month is My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. My Lady Jane sounded really interesting to me because it's a historical fiction, it takes place in England, and our main character is Lady Jane Grey. For those of you who don't know, Lady Jane Grey was the Queen of England for about 9 days. She basically usurped the crown from Queen Elizabeth I and was executed after all of these events took place. This is a historical fiction, and I've heard there's some comedic elements to it, so I'm really interested to see how that's played with such a dark historical story. A book that I'd like to read this month but is not actually out yet is called They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, and as I'm recording this, it's coming out in just a couple of days, so I'm really excited. I've got it pre-ordered and I can't wait to read it. They Both Die at the End takes place in a sort of futuristic world where a company called Deathcast can predict the day that you're going to die. And once they make this prediction, they call you up and say, hey, you've got 24 hours, make sure you get your affairs in order because this is your last day living. The story follows two boys who both find out they're going to die on this day, so they decide to spend their last day together after having connected on something called the Last Friend app. I'm definitely expecting some sort of very heartbreaking, sad ending or a plot twist that's just going to rip my heart open. I am prepared and I am ready to shed a couple tears, as I always do with sad book endings. The next book on my September TBR is an audiobook that I've actually already started, but I'm going to finish it in the month of September, and that is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. And for those of you who don't know, Crooked Kingdom is the second book in the Six of Crows duology. This book centers around Kaz Brecker and his lovable band of misfits as they struggle to clean up some of the messes that are coming about as a result of the events of the Six of Crows book, which is the first one in the duology. I'm already a couple of hours into the audiobook, and I know I'm going to love it just as much as I loved the first one, so I'm just going to keep on listening and hopefully I'll get that one finished soon. The last two books on this month's TBR are two ebooks. The first one I checked out from my local library using the Overdrive app, which I think is really cool, but I decided to check out this specific title because I'm going to be reading it through a group buddy read with a group that I'm in on Goodreads, and that is called YA Buddy Readers Corner. I'm really excited to read this book because I feel like I'm way behind on the Vampire Academy trend, and I just need to hurry up and start the series already. Last but certainly not least, I will be reading Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is book number 1 in the Dark Artifices series, and basically the plot picks up about 5 years after the events of the Mortal Instruments and what we have come to know as the Dark War. The story follows Emma Carstairs and Julian Blackthorne of the LA Institute, and I am from California, so I personally am really excited to read a Shadowhunter story in the area that I know well. Alright, so we have reached the end of my September TBR list, and I know that it was pretty long, and it's pretty aspirational to read that many books in 1 month. However, I do have some travel for work coming up, so I'm hoping I can get in some good reading time on the airplanes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos from me.